I thought I would take advantage of YouTube's new 15-minute time limit, so I've taken my 4-part comic book collection overview from my main channel, which would take you about 40 minutes to watch all of, and made this abridged version that you can watch in about 13 minutes or so. So enjoy, and if you'd rather watch the full versions of these, links down yonder. So, let's get started. The Angel script book that was put out by IDW, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Season 8. The Season 8 comics are considered official canon to the series. And then here's Dr. Horrible, a one-shot comic. Danger Girl, kind of like a cross between Charlie's Angels, James Bond, and G.I. Joe. Up next is Dork by writer-artist Evan Dorkin. Each issue features many comics. Nat Rat was a Batman parody, but instead of a man who dresses up like a bat, he's a rat who dresses up like a gnat. And then we have the Gru Chronicles, The Mask from Dark Horse Comics, and Milk and Cheese, Dairy Products Gone Bad, Power Pachyderms, basically elephant versions of X-Men characters. A Quantum Leap collection, Real Worlds, Batman, and Justice League of America, Sledgehammer, the only 2 issues of that. The Tick, all new #1 of the new series. Box #2. We have Barry Ween, Boy Genius, Army of Darkness, Ashes to Ashes, Clerks, the comic book, based on the Kevin Smith film, of course. Filmation's Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters, Displaced Aggression. Ghostbusters Past, Present, and Future. Ghostbusters, Legion. The Greatest American Hero. Green Arrow, Quiver, written by Kevin Smith. Jay and Silent Bob, Jinx. True Crime Confessions by Brian Michael Bendis. Kill Your Boyfriend by Grant Morrison. Major Bummer. And then we have the classic Masters of the Universe comics. And that brings me to the Masters of the Universe Icons of Evil series that were done a couple of years ago. The real Ghostbusters. No surprise there, am I right? And finally, we get to Slimer. Time for box #3. Alf, Beavis and Butthead, Beetlejuice, based on the animated series, The California Raisins in 3D, Camp Candy, Count Duckula, #8, featuring Geraldo Rivera, Coneheads, a 4-issue miniseries, Fright Night, issues 8 and 9, Great Morons in History, #1, featuring Dan Quayle, Green Gray Sponge Suit Sushi Turtles, The Man of Rust, the retold story, Married with Children, The Ren and Stimpy Show, The Toxic Crusaders, Welcome to the Little Shop of Horrors, What the? Box #4, start with A Moment of Silence, a benefit comic that was put together to raise money for victims and families of the 9/11 tragedy. Gotham by Gaslight. This puts Batman back in the 1880s, in the days of Jack the Ripper. Batman. Harley Quinn. Batman, The Last Angel. Batman Adventures, a ongoing series based on the animated show from October 1986, issue 400 of Batman. In the mid-90s, DC and Marvel did these amalgam comics, which combined several of their characters into one character. Darkclaw here is, of course, a mixture of Batman and Wolverine. Gen 13, issue 1, and they did a Pulp Fiction cover. Generation X Underground Special. Gravy Boy is a story of a teenage boy who, when he was just a baby, was given the gift of magical powers by this mysterious being right here. But however, due to a smudge on the paperwork, instead of the power to control gravity, it became the power to control gravy. Justice League America. Welcome to the Working Week, a graphic novel written by comedian Patton Oswalt. Marvel Knights Spider-Man. Martian Manhunter, number 24. The old green guy definitely loves his Oreos. The Max. The Power of Shazam. Shaun of the Dead. The 6-issue Space Ghost series from DC that was kind of a darker, more serious take on the character. Spider-Man and the Black Cat. The Evil That Men Do. A 6-issue series written by Kevin Smith. Spider-Man Human Torch, a 5-issue limited series about the history of these two heroes' friendship. Superman Adventures issue 21. This was based on the animated series. This issue, however, is Supergirl Adventures. Superman Elseworlds Speeding Bullets. Kind of a what if Kal-El landed on Earth and was adopted by the Waynes. The Man of Steel 6-issue miniseries from 1986. Thrill Killer, Batgirl and Robin. Thundercats Battle of the Planets. Heroes, and another 9/11 tribute. Shazam, The Power of Hope, Nightmare on Elm Street. And now onto box number 6. We begin with Case Files, Sam and Twitch. Sam and Twitch are a couple of detectives from the Spawn comics. The Punisher meets Archie. Oh yeah, it's real, baby. Ooh. The Punisher Marvel Knights series. The Savage Dragon by Eric Larson. Look, issue 2 features the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Stranger in Paradise by Terry Moore. Strangers in Paradise tells the story of Francine and Kachu and the trials and tribulations that they go through to try to be together. There's not a lot of variety in box number 7 either. The Avengers Disassembled. The Mighty Avengers. Presidential material. Barack Obama. Then we have the Ultimates, which are basically the Avengers set in Marvel's Ultimate Universe. Ultimate Spider-Man. This book collects the first 50 issues. The Ultimate X-Men. And finally, we're at box number 8. Billy Batson and the Magic of Shazam. Chuck. Flash Gordon. Kick-Ass. Fantastic Four one-shot. Mary Jane. Kind of a girly book, but I liked it. Powers. Set in a universe where superheroes actually exist, and there are certain law enforcements to handle superpowered crimes. A Spider-Man and Human Torch one-shot. Spider-Man Loves Mary Jane. Wink! Supergirl. Cosmic Adventures in the 8th Grade. Stephen Colbert's Tech Jansen. True Story, Swear to God by Tom Belland. This is kind of a autobiographical love story. The Walking Dead by Robert Kirkman. Web of Romance. A couple of years ago for Valentine's Day, Marvel did a series, I Heart Marvel, all romance stories. This was the best of the bunch, and pretty much overall one of my favorite Spidey stories I've ever read. Wonderlost, another kind of autobiographical comic, tales of youthful indiscretions and whatnot. This time I'll be going over some graphic novels and trade paperbacks and a few other little things. First up is True Story, Swear to God, 100 Stories, Fortune and Glory by Brian Michael Bendis. A true Hollywood comic book story, the death of Superman when they killed off the Man of Steel. I hear they are planning to bring him back eventually. What? Oh, they have. Fatale, Inherit the Earth. Kingdom Come is a Elseworlds title from DC, kind of a look at a possible future in the DC universe. All fancy painted artwork by Alex Ross. At one point I'd heard that DC was actually considering making this the official future of the DC universe, but I think they might have backtracked on that since then. Shocker! 20th anniversary of Batman Year 1. Batman Absolution, a graphic novel. This was actually painted by a local artist named Brian Ashmore. I had this signed, and I also won a page of the original artwork. Here we have Batman Arkham Asylum, the greatest Joker stories ever told. Unfortunately, it does not have the boner story in it. The greatest Batman stories ever told. Decoy is about a shape-shifting alien who comes to Earth and teams up with a police officer. It's a Bird is a kind of serious look at the Man of Steel. And here we have Tales from the Clerks, which I've mentioned before. This is a trade hardcover. Features all of Kevin Smith's View Askew comics in one handy volume. And then I've got some stuff that's not quite comic books, but comic book related. 3-minute sketchbook put together for the Hero Initiative. The Hero Initiative is the first ever federally chartered, not-for-profit corporation dedicated to helping comic book creators in need. And the next one was a little bit more complex, as the Spider-Man 100 project. And then the next year they did the same thing with the Incredible Hulk. Here is Mad, cover to cover. This features the covers from the first 400 issues of Mad magazine. The Amazing Spider-Man, 500 covers from 1962 to 2003. They have DC Comics Cover Girls, which are various covers from DC Comics featuring many other female characters.
It does it.